Well, Grayson, back with another F1 2022 McLaren My Career Mode part, and we are in Saudi Arabia, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. I mean, there's a million beheading jokes I could make, but let's just head into this practice session. You know what, this track, I've raced it quite a few tracks in the game so far, and of course in previous games, but I honestly feel like in terms of difficulty, this one, it is difficult, but once you get into a rhythm, it's alright, you know. And for someone that I don't fucking completely waste my life on these games, but you know what, it was actually a fun track once you got into the rhythm of it. Initially, we actually had pace for the get-go, surprisingly. We could act like, some sectors we were purple, which I just didn't think would be happening. Of course, it's harder to carry it out over a race distance because you are just far more prone to mistakes, to be honest. But in Q1, we managed to fly through and get into the top 10, and the same in Q2 as well. So our teammate manages to qualify 13th, but we make it through to the final part of qualifying in only our second attempt, which I thought was amazing. Q3, I just didn't think there was much point of going out. You know, we'd already used our soft tyres, and to be honest, I thought I'd just stick it in the wall and cost the team money. But here we are for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix.
Grand Prix. So let's take a look at the topographical map of the Jeddah Street Circuit. As you can see, a number of challenging corners for the drivers to master here. We'll see just how much the teams have benefited from their time spent in practice this weekend. And like many street circuits, this track has the potential to punish drivers that get it wrong. Let's hope we avoid any safety cars today. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, and the smooth operator Carlos Sainz completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Perez, and Sir Lewis Hamilton, and Russell, Bottas, Mick Schumacher, Ocon, and Stevens, Fernando Alonso, Norris, Pierre Gasly, and Joe, Vettel, Tsunoda, Kevin Magnussen and Lance Stroll, Albon and Nicholas Latifi. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box, and it's fantastic to have you with us here, but I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you...
And here we are for the 5 red lights here in Saudi Arabia. Everyone's starting on the mediums. We're starting P10. It's like an Alpine Haas McLaren sandwich here, but going into turn 1, what can we do? It's not much of a rundown if we're being honest, but we late break it and we dive into the points. You know what, it was risky. We smashed into the side of Russell's side pod. Don't know how we didn't collect damage. So yeah, looking forward to the rest of this race. But we've got Valtteri Bottas now battling with us here for P8. We fucking almost drive into the back of him, and you can just notice, see, once you get the heavy fuel on board, it is an absolute nightmare to try and actually steer around this track. So it took a few, I mean, I did drive with heavy fuel, but in a few of the races, but it was hard to get to. Ocon overtakes us here. See, I overlit him through, thinking, right, we'll get DRS on this long straight, but then realised, oh fuck, this isn't where the bit where you get the DRS is actually coming up. But moving on, Fernando Alonso, the Alpines were just very strong in this race. We were lacking a lot of race pace, to be honest, early on. They were much better on the hard tyre, which was weird, but see, we actually get the DRS here, and we still barely have an advantage over Alonso. I mean, look at this. I mean, the straight line speed of this McLaren just isn't really cutting it. We managed to get the manoeuvre done, hopefully. We late break at Alonso. I think maybe damaged his front wing there, but you know, it was a fair enough move. Ocon, Bottas are quite a bit up the road. We're still hanging on to this P10. Norris now blast past us. Fernando dives into the pits, and our teammate is doing a very solid job here. We try and defend. We lock up Norris versus Cool, and we managed to hold on to P10 insanely, but Norris fights us back, and at this stage we do have a bit of damage to our front left end plate, but Norris manages to go through. But we were still holding on to Norris through this lap. Now Guan Yu Zhou makes his way past. We sit in the DRS, so does Shinoda. At this point the tyres were definitely beginning to go off, but we managed to like fight through the first bit of graining and hold on. Joe is through. We're now well at the points. We're doing the P12, and I was thinking at this point, damn, we are fucked. But Max Verstappen retires, and then soon after that we dived into the pits. So we are in a battle essentially for 11th, so we kind of need one more retirement if we're being honest. But we come out Things are looking good. We've got a bunch of other drivers that need to pit again, like Alonso and shit. But moving on, we are in 11th place. Pierre Gasly flies past on the hard tyres. And now we've got Magnussen and Albon trying to chase us down here on lap 16. But you know, like even here, like you try and get a good exit. We do the much better line there. And look at the drive that the AI is getting off that final corner. It's a fucking joke. Disgraceful if you ask me, but we managed to stick in the DRS here. These two are just absolutely flying away. And now we late break it, we get a tight turn in, bit of lag there. Pull back, we managed to get the move done on Magnussen, but we've still got Albon up ahead. And what was actually good about this, guys, is the fact that for a bunch of laps, I actually was able to use Albon to guide myself around the track and just constantly improve. So, because I think the quickest I am is actually when I'm following someone, unless it's at a track I'm very comfortable with. But Alexander Albon, we're in the DRS here with 2 laps to go. Looks like we're not going to get points, but another 11th place is on the horizon here. We dive down his inside. Wee bit of a naughty manoeuvre, but we make the corner, so we'll take it every day of the week. And the instant replay shows it was a bit naughty, but you know, you've got to be a bit naughty, man, in these conditions. You know, Albon and the Williams doing a super drive, if we're being honest. But to the line now, we've got Albon and Alonso behind us, but we managed to hold on there to P11. Oh, hell yeah.
Take care of the car on the way in. Great effort there from Ferrari to take the victory today. What do you think it was today, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition?
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
Looking at the podium, you can see that red suit familiar to fans across the globe. A world-class win for a world-class team. Ferrari do it again. So let's review the drivers' standings. George Russell takes the lead in the Drivers' Championship after today's superb result. Some amazing talent out on the track today. But Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
Fernando Alonso, wherever he is, whatever team he's in, when is he not just brilliant? He'll give you a performance every time, just like he's done today.
Let's move on to the constructors. No change in the top spot then, but with today's points, their hold on that lead is getting weaker. Meanwhile, Ferrari have improved their position. A strong weekend for them as they fight their way towards the top. Well, that was certainly an exciting weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for more exciting Formula One action very soon.
Very soon, Crofty, but Ferrari bounced back with exactly what they needed after that disaster in Bahrain. Sainz wins from Leclerc, then we have Russell, Hamilton, Mick Schumacher, very good result for Haas there. Perez, Ocon, Norris getting a bunch more points, then it was Gasly, then it was Bottas, and then it was ourselves, which is disappointing because, like I say, the pace was definitely there, and I mean, you don't deserve shit if we're being honest, but at the same time, in terms of all the races I've did so far in this game, this is probably the most consistent. And you know, we beat quite a few quick drivers. I mean, our fastest lap isn't exactly lightning, but when you've got the pace, you get the pace. And sadly, you know, it just wasn't to be. I mean, if one more retirement would have done, but we couldn't get the job done. But I guess you've got to take what you got to take, brother. And we took P11, you know, 2 P11s back to back. I mean, eventually our luck's got to change, right? Hopefully, going into the next couple of races. But you know, hopefully we can get our points. There is the driver standings, very close at the top. 12 points covers the top 6. Insane stuff, guys. But anyway, leave your thoughts down below. And yeah, there's us sitting down in 15th. We just need points now, you know. Up next, we've got, what's up next? Australia. I like the layout of Australia, so that should go well. After that, Imola, another decent enough track. and all that good stuff. But anyway, leave your thoughts down below, and until next time, peace.